Okay, there's certain events where we would want to be able to route a user to a new location based on something they've done or an event that has happened, such as their logging out. Perhaps we want to route them back to the home page. Or when they've logged in, perhaps we want to route them to the members page. And we'll take a look at that functionality now. So let's close this stuff down apart from the nav component. And the router is something else we can inject into our components. So I'll say private router equals inject, and we can inject the router that we get from Angular router. And then we can do something after we've logged in. And what we will do is, instead of logging out to the console, we'll say list.router, and then we can specify navigate by URL, and then we can say in quotes /members. And we don't actually need to use the response that we get back from here, so we can either specify empty parentheses or we could specify an underscore here as well. And we don't really need this inside curly brackets either. We can do this all on one line. Now, maybe you're using a different IDE, particularly the JetBrains ones. If you were using WebStorm, then this navigate by URL actually returns a promise that resolves to true when navigation succeeds and false when navigation fails or is rejected. Now, we don't really need to do anything with that promise, and VS Code doesn't complain about this. It doesn't give us a warning or squiggly underlines to say, hey, you could do something with this, because we just don't need to do anything with that promise. It's either going to work or it isn't. And perhaps you're in an IDE where that is the case, where you're seeing that squiggly bit. If that is the case, then you can just use void and then just use this code. In VS Code, we're not going to get any warnings about this. The Angular compiler isn't going to complain about this. The only IDE I've seen complain about this is actually WebStorm. So I'll leave that optional, but if you don't like that warning, that is how you can avoid it. And with this in place, what we should find is that we can be redirected when we do log in, but we'll also do the same when we log out as well. We'll also add this .router and navigate by URL, and in this occasion we'll just redirect them to the home page. And if we go and take a look at this functionality, let's say I'm browsing around this amazing application with all of its wonderful functionality and lines of text, I'll say, okay, I've had enough for now, I'm going to log out, and we're redirected back to the home page. And then if I log in again as Dave with the password and press return, boom, we're redirected to the members page. So that's how we route in code. And what we'll take a look at next is how we can display a notification to the user if something has gone wrong.